Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I Holly Shaun's jolly and he jingles my bells.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
Now I'm Remington Chase.
You're not getting lightning in the bottle twice there, Remington. You can't get anything better than Thank and Yank. Like, that's just not happening. Because Thank and Yank has staying power. That feels like it's not going to last past the Christmas season.
It's true. Meanwhile, but hey, it's kind of like, you can have turkey at Thanksgiving. You can also have it at Christmas. You can have Thank and Yank. It's mostly a Thanksgiving thing, but you can Thank and Yank at Christmas too.
Are you saying you can be thankful year round, which means
Of
you can
course.
You can be yankful year round?
Thankful and Yankful, baby, locked and loaded. This is how we're starting our Christmas episode this year.
Hey, look. I mean, if we want, to be completely honest, this is coming out for everybody on the 23rd, so, it is our Christmas episode. But if people are like, it's not the most festive thing ever, hey, it's technically the 23rd, so,
So you're just, okay, yeah, it's okay, so fuck them.
We're splitting the difference, essentially. We're splitting the difference. We're like, oh yeah, this is our Christmas episode. It's like, but it didn't feel very Christmassy. But don't worry, it's also not if you don't want. Hey, some people don't celebrate Christmas, you know? We're
It's our
Americans.
holiday episode.
Yeah, in our holiday episode. This is our nondescript holiday episode that just so happens to coincide with Christmas, you know? Oh, God. But Remington, I left a bit of a teaser at the very end of last week's episode. And you and I have not seen the results of what was happened since that episode has gone live, because time doesn't work that way.
The Great Angel Riots of 2023.
Yeah, for all we know, this part one could just be the last recording you and I ever do, because they could have just hunted us down.
Before they get us.
Yeah, exactly. But while I was being very clever in my ruse of not wanting to do Evangelion on our holiday episode, that didn't mean I didn't have something special planned for the holidays, right? Because God, how fucked would I be if I pulled last week's bullshit and then this week I was like, you know what? Let's just watch Toriko. That's probably worthwhile, right? You've never heard of it. That's the whole point. And people who have heard of it wish they hadn't.
Oh, I see. All right. So theoretically, I imagine that you're going to give them something.
Yes. I am going to give them one of the most requested series we've done. So we're doing 2 highly requested series in a row.
God damn.
Yeah. Don't say I don't give people things. I just don't like being told what to do.
So remember, folks, if you want to show your appreciation for Shaun for these anime he's doing, the old Thank and Yank.
Look, just because it's been a while since I've had a Thank and Yank does not mean you need to advertise it on the podcast. But Thank and Yanks aside, Remington, at the end of last week's episode, I gave a little bit of a hint. Evangelion is famously known for ending with the classic song "Fly Me to the Moon," right?
Yep.
And I said, much like Evangelion, I'm gonna be taking us all to the moon. And it is probably the most blatant hint you and I have ever given, Remington.
But of course.
Because, Remington, this week, we are covering one of the big classics. We are covering one of the most famous anime of all time. Even our parents know what this anime is.
What the fuck?
Partially due to the fact that, we probably didn't shut up about it enough as kids. But hey, that's just the way of it. Because this week, Remington, we're finally covering it. We are going to watch Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon.
Oh! Okay. I was trying to think of any anime that's like super popular and somehow takes place on the moon, I was lost. I was.
You were thinking too complex. No. I simply meant we're just gonna watch Sailor Moon. The full Japanese title is Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon. And that direct translation is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, or just Sailor Moon, as it is known in English-speaking countries.
Hell yeah.
So tell me, Remington, what do you know about Sailor Moon?
All right. I know a little bit.
Did you ever watch it when you were young?
I might have. It is statistically likely, but I don't have any specific memories of it.
Right.
You got Sailor Moon, and then you got the Sailor Planets, right? There's fucking magician twink or something.
Magician twink.
like Discount Phantom of the Opera or something. I don't know anything about him, but I feel like he's in here somewhere.
Holy shit. Oh god, that is the most accurate description of Tuxedo Mask I have ever heard. Holy fuck.
Oh shit.
Tuxedo Mask is who that is, Remington.
Its name is Tuxedo Mask? That's some shit I would say in part 2 of a podcast because I forgot his fucking name.
That's his name.
Holy shit. So you got the planets. I know that there's some lesbian romance that was censored by making them cousins, which is a play, all right?
Yeah.
To preserve those Alabama values right there.
Yeah.
And
it was especially emphasized in the dub.
Yeah. And I think that's about all I know. I don't really know anything about like overarching plot. I just know vague characterization and controversy.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, that's fair because that's kind of what a lot of the public knows. Because I mean, everybody knows Sailor Moon, right?
Yeah.
They've at least heard of it, and they know what she looks like.
Oh yeah.
But whether or not people know anything about the show itself, that is another thing entirely. People who listen to our podcast are like, I mean, of course we fucking know. I mean, we obviously. But of course, there are some people who listen to our show who aren't super into anime, so this will maybe their most in-depth exposure to Sailor Moon itself. And it looks like it's going to be yours as well. But Remington's Sailor Moon is a magical girl anime. It's kind of the magical girl anime. There were magical girl anime before Sailor Moon, of course, but Sailor Moon is the one that really heavily popularized the idea and established a lot of the tropes that other shows would apply. This one and Pretty Cure, if I'm not mistaken, were the other big magical girl anime.
Well, I've only heard of one of them, so...
Well, yeah. That's because in Western culture, Sailor Moon is the one that really exploded over here. And it exploded about the same time as Dragon Ball. So if you grew up watching Dragon Ball, there's a good chance you watched, Dragon Ball Z specifically. If you grew up in a Western country watching Dragon Ball Z, pretty safe chance you also had the opportunity to watch Sailor Moon as well. Because the anime is originally from 1992, if you can believe it.
God damn.
Yeah, it's older than Evangelion, which we covered last week. And the original...
It's fucking ancient.
Yeah. Okay, buddy, we're from the 90s. You shouldn't say that.
In the olden times.
You can't say it's ancient if we're from that decade, Rem.
I don't know what you're talking about, alright? Gen Alpha all the way.
God, that is what they're calling it, isn't it?
You're damn right. We've decided that the alphabet is just the easiest way to do things. So we're just gonna keep going down the line.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess it makes sense. Until, they get a moniker based on some, like, tragedy or vague concept. Which will happen eventually, I'm sure. But no, yeah, 1992. And the original manga started being published in 1991. So, it's got a bit of a history to you. And the basic premise of the anime is gonna sound pretty familiar to you, Remington. It's about our main character, Usagi.
Yep.
She's a bit of an awkward, girly crybaby.
I hope you realize I will only call her Sailor Moon throughout the entire.
You're only gonna call her Sailor Moon. You're not gonna call her Christian name.
It might happen. I'd be amazed if it does.
Well, Usagi is her name. If it helps you remember, Usagi means rabbit.
Why would that help?
Because rabbits go to the moon.
What? Excuse me?
Okay, it's a Japanese folklore thing. It's a pun. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
Oh fuck.
Look, we'll go into Japanese folklore one of these days. But there's a story about a rabbit being on the moon. You know.
All right.
So Sailor Moon is the rabbit that is the moon. There you go. She is. Look, I believe we've used the term in the past. The easiest way to describe Usagi is she's a bit of a bakadere. She's a bit of a dummy.
Oh yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, she is a bit of a klutzy dummy, but good-natured, good-hearted. And one day, she happens to rescue a little cat that has a lovely little crescent moon symbol on its forehead. And the cat named Luna turns out to be able to
Why
speak.
is the cat named Luna? Why isn't she named Luna?
Well, because, Usagi and the moon. I mean, her last name is Tsukino, which is also a word could be translated as moon. So, like her name is Rabbit Moon, essentially. she is the bunny moon. And Luna is the cat, and it's got to be a little more mystical because, it's not a Japanese name. And Luna turns out to be able to speak and tells her that she is destined to become a magical girl, destined to protect the planet.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's up to her to prevent these evil energy stealing monsters from rising up and destroying life and society as they know it.
All right, I'm going to ask a question that I feel like is Baby's first Sailor Moon question.
Okay.
Why does everybody else get a planet, but our protagonist is stuck with the goddamn moon?
That's a great question, Remington. The basic question is, it sets her apart from the rest, mostly.
Okay.
Gives her more chosen one status.
Are their powers different from each other?
Yes.
Or do they all just have vague magical girl shit?
Yeah, they have different abilities and different equipment and such.
How different?
Decently different. Like, you're not going to get any of them confused for each other.
Okay, all right.
Like, some have fire, some have water, that kind of thing.
All right, be honest with me. Which one's the fucking useless one? Which one's the power set that, you gotta squint to make it useful? In every super team, there's one where you're like, oh, okay, I get it, but, are we gonna use that all the time? Which one is it?
Tuxedo mask.
My boy Tuxedo Mask.
Whether or not that's a true statement or a controversial one, I could not tell you. But I find it fucking hilarious.
Holy shit.
I mean, they all have their own powers and their own use here and there. Like, there's not like a clear dunce of the group. Aside from Usagi, but that's more literal. And I mean, Usagi's power is the most straightforward. She hits things and they die, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, by the power of the moon, she will destroy you, that kind of thing.
Holy shit.
Look, it's much more cutesy than that, so you don't have to worry about it. But like I said, Rem, this is one of the shows that just establishes the magical girl formula for the foreseeable future, right? Like, basically everything I told you was the synopsis for Puella Magi Madoka Magica, if you recall.
Yeah.
Just without the other fun twisty stuff. It like pound for pound, that is the magical girl formula. And I thought it'd be fun and interesting to see where it all began and why this particular genre and format became as popular as it is. And maybe there's something to see. And I mean, it's a show that's had as much staying power as, Dragon Ball in a lot of ways. Like, in terms of iconography. Like, everybody knows Sailor Moon. Everybody knows Dragon Ball. Like, there's a lot of overlap there.
They're the foundational classics.
Yeah. Another little fun fact, the author for this lovely series, Naoko Takeuchi, she is a very cool author. And a fun little meta manga fact, she is also married to the author of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's married to Togashi, which is pretty neat. And he's also did Yu Yu Hakusho, so that's a fun little crossover. And she is a very lovely mangaka as well. Clearly, otherwise her manga wouldn't be as insanely popular as it is. It's just fascinating to think that two of the most popular mangaka in history are, in fact, married.
Yeah.
And I find that fun and fascinating. But the real question is, Remington, in this day and age, do you think there'll be plenty to talk about this show? And do you think it will have as much staying power as it seems to have had? Because, I mean, it's had sequel series and remakes and things of that nature. But, we just got done watching a show that had a lot of dated elements. Do you think that this show will have similar issues, or do you think it'll be a bit more timeless?
I think that this one will be dated in its storytelling methods rather than its content. That's my prediction.
Right. And I mean, hey, they also tried to sneak some lesbians in there, but, unfortunately, a lot of people weren't, a lot of really bad people weren't a fan of that, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Look, true Sailor Moon fans know they weren't just roommates, or in this case, they weren't cousins.
Yep.
So, I think with that in mind, let's just go straight into it, Remington. Let's go watch a classic anime yet again for the second week in a row. What better Christmas gift than the gift of watching a classic and hoping to God that you don't make all of the people who love this series hate our guts?
Let's do it.
Without further ado, let's go watch some Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon. And we are back after watching 5 whole episodes of the, quite frankly, revolutionary Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon. And if I neglected to mention one of the other very important magical girl anime that defined the genre and generation previously, it's not that I forgot them, it's just that there are quite a few, and Sailor Moon is easily the most well-known.
Here, that Shaun says, fuck all the others. They may as well not even exist.
Look, I know about Utena, I know about Cardcaptor Sakura, I know about them all. It's okay. It's okay. It's just Sailor Moon is kind of, you can't argue it's the most impactful one in Western culture. That being said, Remington, it's kind of your first proper foray into it, so how do you feel about it all these years later?
All right, well, let's just start with, episode 1. We have Usagi, our main character. She wakes up late. She saves a magical cat from just being antagonized by young boys. The magical cat then makes her feel uncomfortable. It can talk, but it doesn't start talking yet. She just isn't vibing with it, I guess.
I mean, it does have very human eyes for a cat.
Yeah, and so she runs away. At school, we learn she loves food, but is bad at school, this whole chestnut.
It's a classical chestnut. For Christmas, Rem. A Christmas chestnut.
That old chestnut roasting over an open fire. And all other kids at school, they're talking about Sailor V, who is this superhero, generally. I don't know their deal yet. I don't know what's up with them.
It's a part of the story, my guy.
But it's
gotta lay the groundwork.
It seems to be less magical Sailor Moon and that's what inspires Usagi to become Sailor Moon, using the powers of magical cat. So we meet our main villains, Beryl and Jadeite, and Beryl wants to get enough energy, and so she's just like this malevolent witch.
Yes.
Meanwhile, she delegates the planning and organization to her Nazi youth boy.
Nazi youth boy.
That's what he is.
Just because he's blonde and in a uniform does not automatically make him a Nazi, Remington.
He's also evil.
He is also evil.
He's evil. He's fine
not all
with everybody
Aryans are
dying.
Nazis, Rem.
Yeah, but like he's fitting the criteria. Him more than just about anybody I could say this about. He fits the criteria, okay? And they want to get energy from people and steal it from them. They would have preferred to use like a silver crystal, but they don't have that, so they need to get it from people. I'm 5 episodes in, don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Hey, Rem.
Not even a clue.
Hey, look, it's okay. I mean, there's lots of episodes of Sailor Moon, because the first season is 46 episodes, so, you got time.
Jesus. Well, 2.5 hours in, fucking clueless. They love to get energy, and in the 5 episodes, they've collected quite a bit. after a few of these episodes, they're like, yeah, that's a fuck ton of energy. I don't know. And then just store it off screen and don't worry about it. We don't know how much we need. We don't know how progress is going. We don't even really know, like, oh, what is this energy? Energy. Oh, thanks. Just one of the most nebulous and ambiguous terms.
Well, it's human energy, Rem.
Yeah, sure. And you can take this energy through a lot of different means, but only by being a dick. Like, you can steal and harness their energies of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, and generally how it goes, every single episode, the witch and the Nazi have a new plan to steal energy.
The Witch and the Nazi coming soon from Studio Ghibli.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Nazi.
Oh, Christ.
Or I guess they would be like the cat, the talking cat, the witch, and the Nazi. So every episode they come up with their own new scheme. Usually it is with a new strange business opening up in town that everybody's interested in. Everybody goes there. They usually get mind controlled. 3 episodes have had like wide mind control as a prominent theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one that they adore. And so the town gets mind controlled to some degree. Sailor Moon shows up, throws a tiara at them, immediately wins.
Yeah, I told you, she hits things and they die.
and thus far, every single episode, first episode, the cat's like, hey, throw your tiara, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. Every single episode afterwards, though, the cat has still been like, hey, so what you're gonna do here, you're gonna throw your tiara at them. It's like, yeah, that's her one move thus far, man. I think she knows. Or at least she should. It's like going to Saitama and being like, all right, so here's what you're gonna do. I think you're gonna punch him. It's like, yeah, I think he will. I don't think he needed you, bud. Something else that'll always happen in these battles will be Tuxedo Mask will show up and he'll throw a single rose and leave. That is all that he's done.
But his work here is done, Rem.
Genuinely, it's just show up, toss a rose, not at the villains, just usually at the ground near the villains. Like, he's not trying to hurt them, he's trying to distract them for 2 seconds at best.
Look, it's all part of the grand plan, Remington. Remember, there's a lot of episodes here.
Tuxedo Mask is so fucking dumb. And then the
how
premise
did you describe him? Magician twink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The premise between his relationship with Usagi is that Usagi really is crushing on Tuxedo Mask, but the guy behind the mask, they hate each other, right? This becomes very weird when she meets the guy behind the mask, and the guy is wearing a suit, right? He's basically, he's wearing a tuxedo for all intents and purposes, and he also has like sunglasses blocking that exact same space of the mask. But she's not like, holy shit, it's Tuxedo Mask. She's like, oh, it's that asshole. I don't know what it is. Like, is it the cape? Is it the cape that brings it all together? That's the pivotal part of the disguise?
It might be the hat.
Oh, the hat. That's it.
It's also the fact that Usagi, not the brightest tool in the shed, you know?
No, yeah, she's dumb, but she's a klutz. She's a crybaby. That is established episode 1. God, she loves to cry. She cries over everything. Don't know why they made that a character trait. It happens a lot. Kind of annoying.
She gets better.
So episode 1 is all about the witch and the Nazi using jewelry to collect energy from women. They're stopped. Episode 2, there's a new fortune teller in town, and they use tarot cards and hypnotism to control a bunch of boys and turn them into alpha male incel creeps. And you'll never guess, but she throws her tiara at the main baddie and wins.
Yep.
And this way, I'm like, people are pretty unfazed about all, like, in relatively recent proximity, you've had an awful, creepy, magical, possessed jewelry store and a magical, creepy, possessed fortune-telling shop. people do not give a shit. People do not remember, not even really Sailor Moon herself. Usagi is not keeping up. Like, every single time something weird's happening, you'd think Usagi would be like, ah, shit, it's the bad stuff again. But no, she's just like, ooh, this is fun. Every single time. In the 5 episodes I've seen, no one has caught on yet. No one is like, whoa, this has been the craziest 2 months of our lives.
These things take time, Remington. You can't rush them.
You really can't. Really, we just take that real slow burn. Episode 3, there's a romantic love letter radio station that you can submit your letters, they'll read it out, and they'll send you a nice demon flower that'll suck your energy, suck the love right out of you.
Man, never mind, stopping there.
Hey, if any MILFs want to suck the love right out of Shaun.
Okay, listen here.
His actual address is... So you'll never guess how she handles this. She throws a tiara. This is the first time she actually confronts the Nazi, who she cannot beat with the tiara throw. She beats his crony, but she can't beat him, and then he disappears. There's not really like a big fight scene. He just kind of dodges it and leaves. Look, they were working with old school animation where you don't really have a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, well, and also it was Toei, so
that means nothing to me.
The guys who, let's just say that they were the studio behind OG Dragon Ball, One Piece,
Good
Digimon,
God.
All these very shonen shows.
Yeah.
And you can guess where most of their early budget went to.
Yeah. Episode 4, girls feel self-conscious about their weight, and so opens up a gym, takes energy from them that way, throw a tiara, win. Also, why must you take the energy from like their physical essence? Like you have a gym, motherfucker, just plug that elliptical in. You're going to be getting literal power from that, right? Like, and you're stealing energy from like their love and stuff. Why can't you do it from like their self-doubt, from just their like day-to-day concerns and worries? I imagine there'd be a lot of energy from that.
Hey, don't spoil the plot lines of future episodes, Rem.
The Nazi just becomes real wholesome. He's like, hey, I'm going to take all those worries away, and that's going to benefit us both. And then, because they don't have worries, everybody will be like, thanks, man.
And then he kills them all.
Then just straight murder. And then episode 5, we have a pet store that is selling chinellas, which are chinchilla rabbit crossbreeds that smell distinct. And you'll never guess, they possess the owners more or less.
I mean, yeah.
Everything drains its energy and starts to take control of its like owner in the most boring way, because it's always just proximity in Sailor Moon. It's always just if you are around bad object, you're getting drained, right? That's fine, but it's a bit bland. Give me some like Dragon Ball Cell shit where something has to inject itself into you and just suck all of your organs in.
Oh God. Oh, that's for the later season, Rem. When normal imperfect Cell makes a cameo, it's just like, hey there, girlies. I'm here to give you a true nightmare.
God,
type of situation.
I would love that art where I just want to introduce like a Dragon Ball Cell or on the topic of nightmares and that voice, we could do Freddy Krueger. I just want someone real fucked up to show up in the world. That's not like, all right, with the convoluted scheme, here's how we're going to get energy. Who's not like that. Instead, they're like, all right, I'm going to kill everybody. And Usagi is just way in over her head, is like, I'll throw my tiara. They're like, that ain't going to do it, sweetheart.
Hey, Sailor Moon, want to watch me drink this guy? Yeah.
I've not been
very much that
introduced to any of the other sailors at all.
No. Yeah, and I knew that was going to happen, Remington, because my God is the pacing of this show Saturday morning cartoon levels of slow. Which, hey, that's what it is, and it's what it was for the time. So, that's fine. It's just, you want to get to the meat of the series, Rem? It's quite the investment.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
When I got to episode 5, I decided I was gonna ramp that speed way the fuck up to an ungodly number, and I still got everything.
Yeah.
I was not lost. I turned it to almost 3 times speed. This is true.
Yes.
Didn't lose a thing.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Hey, look, I was only allowed to show you 5 episodes, so I may do with what I can.
I think that's more than enough. Look, Sailor Moon. Oh no, personal concern. Usually whine to best friend. Oh, there's this weird thing in town. Let's go check it out. Or one of the other characters will check it out. Oh man, that's crazy. What a wacky time. Oh man, but what if it's mysterious? Alright, well, I guess we'll investigate and maybe stop it. Oh, it is bad, and it's possessed a bunch of people. They're all thralls under the Nazis' control now. Well, let's transform. That'll take 45 seconds every goddamn time. And
you gotta reuse that animation budget. That's classic Toei.
you get an intro, you get an outro, you get 45 seconds of a transformation sequence every time, sometimes followed up by an additional, 10 seconds of introduction where she'll be like, love, justice, I'm Sailor Moon. Just if you need to pad a little bit more. You'll also sometimes get episode recaps to get an additional 10 to 30 seconds in there. All things considered, 15 to 25% of any Sailor Moon episode is not new content. And I say new content pretty liberally, considering some of the new content is, oh man, and now Tuxedo Mask, he shows up, throws a rose, and leaves. I don't know his deal. What? Why? Why does he even pretend? What
Look,
does
man,
he think he's doing?
I can't give you the spoilers, man. Look, just because it's a show that's, older than us, does not mean I can just willy-nilly tell you everything that happens in it.
Homie literally just shows up, throws a rose, and leaves.
But his job there is done.
He doesn't even throw it at them. He's not helping.
He's helping in his own way.
Not really. And there was one time where I think it was the fortune teller episode. He throws a rose. It briefly distracts the monster, right? Let's Sailor Moon escape briefly. Then he leaves, and then the monster just goes back to fighting Sailor Moon exactly the same. Nothing really has changed.
Yeah.
And it's ready to just fucking kill her. And I'm like, why, homie? Why'd you leave so early? I don't know. At least throw a second rose or something. Come on now, bud. You can find that in your budget.
Unfortunately, roses were expensive in the 90s, Rem.
Motherfucker has flying technology, where he will glide off into the distance, but he can't buy a second rose. He's a goddamn mess, Shaun.
Yeah.
And the show is a mess. It has its charms. I would say, look, there's almost certainly a pretty decent quality abridged out there somewhere for Sailor Moon. There's gotta be.
So you're saying that if there's a good abridged out there, it's a full-on replacement for the series?
Probably.
Ooh, harsh claims.
Look, if you want to watch it on your second monitor to relive nostalgia, go for it. I think you could probably curate 8 or 9 episodes from the 46, and you could create a decent series of television. I have watched basically the same episode 5 times.
Yeah.
With very few differences. Very Monster of the Week, which is fine. But man, that's a lot. That's a lot.
This is the part where I mention, hey Rem, guess how much of the original run of Sailor Moon is technically filler?
90?
No. Only 49%.
I probably disagree with that assessment, honestly.
Well, that's just because episodes 2 through 7 are all filler.
Holy shit. Holy god damn. 2 through 7. You're like, all right, episode 1, we introduce the character.
Yep.
And then it does not matter for the next, if this is gonna be weekly television, you're like, and then we show them fucking nothing for 2 months.
Yep.
That is
and I could have told you
move.
Rem, I could have told you to skip the filler, but I wanted you to get that old school, authentic 90s experience.
Why did anybody continue watching anything?
Dog, there weren't a lot of options. And Sailor Moon was very different. And for Saturday morning cartoons, hey, little child brain was very, very happy. And besides, once you remove all the fluff and filler, which Toei is notorious for, because yeah, genuinely 49% of the original run of Sailor Moon is filler.
That is obscene.
Yeah, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's damn near close. But yeah, like if you're so when you say just curate a couple episodes, you are correct. Essentially, you would just need to watch episode 1, 8, 10, 3, and 13 and 14. Those are the first 5 manga canon episodes. Should have shown you those, and it would have been a much more enjoyable experience for you? Yeah, probably. But Remington, Christmas is about memories. It's about nostalgia. It's about, experiencing the things that we experienced when we were kids. And Lord knows the amount of times I watched a show that popped up on the television and it was a random ass filler episode way too many times. Way too many times. I just wanted to give you that experience, Rem.
Ooh-wee, Merry Christmas to all, and now I'm dead.
It's okay, Remington. It's okay. I promise you, when we revisit the original Sailor Moon, I'm only going to allow you to watch the actual canon episodes rather than all the filler nonsense because I'm not a fucking monster. I just needed you to get a taste. I need you to understand because, Rem, on this series, we've never really covered full-on filler episodes before. We've talked about episodes that felt like filler, but we've never actually sat down and watched a shit ton of filler episodes. It's out of the way. You're done. You don't need to worry about that anymore. From here on out, if it's filler, more often than not, I'm going to tell you to skip it.
Shaun,
I'm going to give you an
I can't help but feel that on this lovely Christmas, my time just was not respected by either you nor the show.
I wonder what that feels like, Remington. So if you want to go over on patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, you'll notice that the 12 Days of April Fools are there.
11 great bonus episodes. All it takes is $5 on Patreon, and you get 11 extra April Fool's episodes. And the shit that I pull is amazing. All right, your favorite anime turns into a musical. We have our first 3-part episode. All right, it's crazy. There's some wild bullshit.
We worked really hard on that, and by we I mean Remington came up with some of the most evil monstrosities known to man, and I had to sit through them all. And man, did we get some great episodes out of it! But let me tell you. Oh boy, it took a lot of my time. But with that in mind, Remington, if you had to guess, what do you think the original run of Sailor Moon is sitting at, mal score-wise?
Okay, I think that it has a lot of nostalgia, but it's probably lost a bit of its luster. But at the same time, I'm like, people rating this, besides the people who remember and love it, like, I don't know. I don't know if they are.
I mean, the most recent review was from December 13th of 2023, so...
Yeah, but that could be like a nostalgia review. I don't know that. And so...
Well, I mean, their profile picture is, Ray from Evangelion, so there's a pretty good chance it is.
But, my brain is fried at this point. It's Christmas. I've just watched the same episode 5 times. I'm sick. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to say 7.77. I think it's going to be high 7s or low 8s. I don't think it... I think the weebs will feel that it doesn't necessarily stand the test of time. But they have a lot of nostalgia, and it does have its charms.
Holy shit, Rem. Well, with 186,000 ratings, Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon is sitting nice and pretty at 7.73.
Oh!
Your gut, my god, even when you're out of it and it's Christmas, is still getting so tantalizingly close.
Genuinely, it's just a skill that I've developed at this point. Like, I am surprisingly in tune with what the weebs are going to rate things.
Yeah, and you nailed it, man. Like, a lot of the reviews are a lot of nostalgia stuff, but the majority of them are like, hey, this is a good show as long as you skip the filler and, watch it, like, responsibly. Because, yeah, watching the same episode multiple times in a row ain't fucking great. But for everybody who watches the full manga canon, everybody seems to have a pretty good time. Not such a good time that they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is a top 5 anime every time, all the time. but it's a good enough anime that they're like, yeah, 7 or 8 out of 10, pretty solid. Which, maybe that's just the experience that we need to have in the future, Rem. Because I promise you, next time we encounter something with a stupid amount of filler, I'm going to guarantee you that I'm not making you watch the filler.
Oh, thank
and
God.
let me tell you, Remington, the Sailor Moon filler, easy to get through in comparison to some of the other stuff.
Like, it wasn't actively antagonistic.
Exactly.
It was just a bit bland and samey.
Yep. Dog, there are full seasons of Naruto Shippuden that are filler.
Oh, fuck.
You're never gonna have to deal with that. Be fucking grateful.
Woo.
This was it. This is my Christmas gift to you, Remington. A little bit of time wasted and a promise for the future that you never have to go through a bunch of nonsense filler again.
Wow.
Unless, it's poorly written anime or manga and it feels like filler anyways, but at the same time, it's still technically manga canon. That I can't prevent you from, but old school shonen and shoujo filler, never gonna have to deal with it again.
Well, Merry Christmas to all. Ho, 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 and ara, ara.
Ho, 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 and ara, ara. We should get that on like a special Christmas t-shirt, I feel like.
Look for that in 2024. It'll be great.
Oh, great. Making promises we can't keep again.
Oh,
Love
you're
it.
damn right.
One day we'll have merch. But until that day, I guess the final question I have to ask you, Rem, is there any chance you'd like to watch any more Sailor Moon with me in the future?
Look, I'm not gonna accost you if it's on in the background at a get-together, but I'm not gonna, sit down and separate a block of time to check it out.
Well, we'll see about that, Remington. We'll see. Because, like I said, a lot of episodes. I think if you combine all the original run of the series, it's like 200 total. So, nice and light.
Jesus.
But with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy a lovely, nice and easy Christmas where we talk about one of your most favorite nostalgic shows and are ultimately disappointed because you forgot how much filler there is, then please leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify. Stitcher doesn't exist anymore. I haven't done that in a hot minute.
God damn it, Shaun.
Go back in time and leave a review on Stitcher. Do it!
Bitch.
Get your DeLoreans and leave us some retroactive reviews. Make sure they're good ones, though. Wouldn't want to go through all the effort of making a time machine if you're not going to leave a good review. But they do mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington do occasionally play video games very poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the 12 Days of April Fools. Both Year 1 and Year 2 are up there still, so go and... It's a lot of content for $5, folks. And you can also be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are transforming and giving us a possessed tarot card so that we become their thrall. And on that list, we have, my name is First Now Bitch. Oops, sorry, I was just overly excited. You're not a bitch. Please don't hurt me. Zombie Stomp, Xanax, Zayden, your weekly reminder to wash your pits, Shaun. Yandere Neko, why Shaun, why Shaun? When is the Forest Fairy 5 revisit? Oh, my cat's making noise now.
Which one? It's important.
Binks, the loud one. He has to be loud because otherwise we lose him.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he's the loud one because he's the most stealthy of the lot, but he makes a lot of noise when you're not.
Yeah, first we've had to add a bell to his collar because otherwise he'll get lost. Second of all, he'll be silent until he actively fucks shit up. Which he's eager to do right now. But continuing on. We have betrayed the birds, Shaun. Now they want blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne, and cum for the cum jar. Jesus. Walk Me Home Gently, Vinland Saga's Peakland Saga, Rem, please watch. Utah #1, Unhinged Prax, Totally God's Angel, Titan CNH, The Not King, Ruler of Ornai, The Villain Behind Glasses who wants Remington's reaction to Chief Nianta, The Susanator, The Open Window Man, The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Rurnoazora as my navigator. I hate saying his name. It's just, I want them to be one more or less R.
You need a little bit more Oro in there.
Yeah. Like if it was Rorinoro Zoro. There we go. That feels right to me.
Well, That's not up for you to decide, my guy.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Joke's on
It's
you.
the best-selling comic franchise of all time. Like, I don't think you get much of a say
And
in
joke's
it.
on you. I'm taking over from this point forward. I'm the new author of One Piece.
And who is the author of One Piece, Rem?
Me now. I've just clarified. So fuck you.
Sorry, Oda.
The Angel's happy sugar life is in ruin after Shaun fucked the birds. Don't fuck birds, Shaun.
All right.
That cunt that makes
don't.
Rems ask Shaun to punish him for April Fools by showing him Love Hina and then say Angel for the birds. Thanks for being the best thing to listen to while working out. Y'all's mostly agreeable takes distract me just enough. Turban, tell your dear old mom I appreciate the thanking yank. She's a true angel. Super Zoo, Stacy's mom, Snaky Pie, Silent Secondary, Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, but just more manga to read and anime to watch. Schlurp McGlurp, Shaun's Tingle Fund, and second Sweet Potato Docky. Shaun, get the Angel Christmas special robot. Shaun, you Scrooge pulling the Eva rug out. The people demand Eva for Christmas. Shaun, stuff your meaty cock back in your pants. The angels are watching and Judy Hopps can wait. Oh, fuck.
The fuck?
Shaun puts the bara in Capybara. Also, I love angels. Shaun had a lass that could go all night, but he got out of breath when he had to blow her up. Seth Senju, Seraphim, the shark plushie. Sequoia Kai, that's what she said. Say hi to my girlfriend Haley. Say hi to my girlfriend Haley. Ross Balmer, Rhiannon Williams, RGB98, Remington is right. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. Rem loves the big ol'. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Pro tips out of context, who needs angels when you have Shaun, Rem, and Dylan? Seriously, thank you, happy holidays, and Merry Chrysler. Well, thank you, happy holidays. Professor Fox, Pen the Penguin, probably also fucks the birds. Paco Musico, Anara Goro is the best episode thus far. Now move on to the Boy Wizard T where everybody's getting head. No waifu, no laifu. 907, Nice Legs, Daisy Dukes, Mix Mango, Do. Neon Genesis, Tattooed Evangelion, Neon Angel Huvo, Makeka 7 Hierto, Mermicorn Fire, Mecha Angels App, making fake mal account so I can rate Forest Fairy 5, 10 out of 10, Macaroni and Cheesa, love AOT and like the pod after 6 months of folks listening. Live from Shaun Mom's basement, Link Jokerl, Liam Dunn, Kylo, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jergidius, Jax, Jam Hands, is that an angel under the capybara's bed or is it Shaun thanking yanking his Dakimakura collection? Icon Scout, I will never get more ace of the diamond, now I cry. Hunter Tane, hey Shaun, I got text now, it says durability test level 1 begin. Harvey is Charles, where the rest of the brigade are her angels. Glenn Michael Dolan, give me back my clothes, Shaun. Farmer Weeb wants to thank patrons, and damn you, Shaun. Fantide, even though Shaun fucked the Christmas special, we still need to say angel for the birds. Erica McCorkle, Elbor and Quenyo, due to what the Discord is saying, I might just fuck my stepsister, Jesus Christ. Domo, do, you really expect us to believe Rem was born after 1995? I'm actually eternal. I was born in 1920.
He is an eldritch entity, funnily enough.
Also known as a fucking boomer. Dark with Light, Angelic Evas. Daniel Riot, Daddy Shaun, why does Daddy Rem hate fun? Oh, Samantha Honey Angel, fun hurt him very badly when he was a child. Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story. Cryptid Milf, Crypt Killer Steve, Country Fried Goth here to remind you that you just lost the game. Chris Wood, Chris Thorstad, Cheese Monkey, Celestial Angel Fox, Cat Girls are best girls who give them cute little paws. Carl Steff, can I have some Ruko Shinju review for this Christmas? I'm just a little boy in the cold. Brockhart for Jew dudes, I can to be bribed, says our angel, but you absolutely can, Shaun. Big Blue Bear Boy, Big Tony Bear Trap, Big Nut says angel for the birds. Bert Bartholomew Phlegm. As a reverse April Fools, Dylan should show the boys the happiness of the Katakuris, says Miska knowingly. Angel thank and yank, Angel of Steel, Angel for a good cause, and every day the Angel Raven comes to visit. Amazing Muffin. AJ Tunnels to quote Angel Socrates, life is the shit, you're either pushing hard or hardly pushing. Aisha Gudgy, Adele Gal, Aaron Hegland, and Dot. Now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier where everybody will receive their own magical girl anime. I expect full reviews of
full completion.
Yeah, you must completely watch it and put an essay on my desk by Monday. So,
Luck if you get Sailor Moon.
Yeah. All right. What does Daddy Rem say to Goth Angel Dylan and Mommy Shaun? You are going to get Yuki Yuna is a hero. Vincent Calabrese, you get Pretty Cure. Valkyries come at All Father's command to destroy those who speak bad about JoJo's. You're gonna get Magical Do-Re-Mi. That reminds me, an Angel of Eden says you are interested in men. You get Shauna of the Burning Eyes. That mouse girl, you get Shugo Chara. That guy Evan or that guy Jellian, you get Mahime. Shaun, you sound like you need a blowjob, wink wink question mark?
Sorry?
I think they're propositioning you.
Bit bold to do on a Patreon
and
channel.
hey, you get the big hole. Remember should watch Pui Pui Molcar Season 2. Your magical girl anime is Pui Pui Molcar Season 2. My favorite magical girl anime.
I mean, wasn't there a magical girl episodes of Pui Pui Molcar?
I think so.
Pretty sure there was.
Please consider the magical girl musical of Healer Girl. I want to know Rem's opinion. You get Sympho gear. Nightshade Blade, you get Healer Girl. Monogatari is everything, you guys. Just get to the fucking Monogatari, Shanji. You are going to get Searching for the Full Moon. Milena is Ryan's Angel. You get Magic Knight Ray Earth. Mike says get in the fucking robot, Rem. You are going to get Magical Girl Lyrica Nono. Miguel DeLeon, you get Princess Tutu. Latino heard Sean Hornley begging Olivier Mira Armstrong to step on his pee-pee. You get Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. Kugor, you are going to get Card Captor Sakura. I finally remembered to change this. Now what to make it? You get Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant. Hey Sean, I want to aura your ass so hard you can't sit for weeks. You are going
Jesus
to get
Christ.
Madoka Magica. Getting the Angel, Rem. You are going to get Earth Maiden Arjuna. Drew Angel of Trash Sawdust and a secret third thing. You get Grand Belm. Crimson Reaper just because of the scythes. You get Cutie Honey. Carver 271. You get Pixie Pop. Cameron Coates. Ojamajo Doremi. Oh, didn't I already give that one? Fuck it. You get it again.
You get it again. There are only so many magical girl anime.
Blood Cells, not the protein shake loving, gym addicted, always angry white ones. The gamer subs guzzling angels, the red ones. You are going to get.
Is that a subtle gamer subs advertisement in our Patreon reads?
Hell yeah. You get.
I mean, hey, gamer subs, if you want to reach out, you guys actually have kind of delicious stuff. I found that recently.
You get Sailor Moon Crystal. Beethoven 1201. You get the Dylan Kreider documentary.
He is the most magical of girls.
Anonymous, you are going to get Kill la Kill. Animated Z, you get Flip Flappers. 50 years old, asked my son to change my name back to. You get Corrector Yui. Second to none, you are going to get Venus 5. Now we go on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Sean Rollins, as Joey Wheeler, will tell you your Sailor Scout identity that cannot be any of the existing Sailor Scouts, and I will tell you what powers you have. On that list, we got my dear old mum.
List of heavenly bodies. Well, gonna have to clear my search history after that one.
Just all my nudes.
Just copious Rem cheek. Like everywhere. And weirdly enough, with a space backdrop.
That's how it goes.
You're going to get, you are gonna be the Sailor Crab Nebula.
And your powers are, you get big ol' crab claws. And it's always active. So good luck. Next we got Cuddle Bunny Reverse Angel Coup is peak content, well played.
Wow, the first positive review of what I did with the Evangelion thing.
And they pay the most, so they're automatically right. That's how democracy works.
That is true. And also, gang, you got what you wanted early. Usually that's a good thing, in my opinion. You get to be Sailor Black Hole. Careful, Rem.
You get the power of the big suck. Next we have Apathy is a sort of living oblivion.
You get Sailor Milky Way.
You have the power to generate milk on command. Congrats, you're pregnant.
Sorry you had to find out like this.
Last but not least, we have 6 months and counting.
You get... God, this one has to be real, surely. Hold on. Just gonna make sure so I'm not fucking it. Oh shit, no, it's not. Alright, you get to be Sailor Comet.
And you get the power, you get an ice gun. Just a gun that shoots ice bullets. Thank you.
How environmentally conscious.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and as always, Don't fuck your sister.
Do do do. La la la.
It's been a while.
Since I've had a thanking yank.
You mythical trollop, you.
I'm a mythical hussy, thank you very much.
Hey, if any MILFs want to suck the love right out of Shaun.
Remington, do you not remember the Kids Bop incident that you had?
It's different.
But you also ruined a lovely situation that you were in with Kids Bop.
Sure, and it was hilarious.
Dylan is super pretty, y'all. What do you think we pay him for? We certainly don't pay him for editing.